Hello, crafty friends. This is the Papered Chef here. Welcome to part 3 of my Playing in the Rain workshop series. Today we're going to be creating this cute little box with a fox. Kind of sound like Dr. Seuss, don't I? It's for treats. I didn't put any treats in it yet. Not sure. Maybe Skittles. I'm not sure what I'll put inside. Good for spring. Okay, so we're going to use the Rain or Shine Suite. The workshop is called Playing in the Rain because we use this bundle. I do understand that the dies are not available, or they weren't available, nor were these little cute daisies. But I'm pretty sure, and I'm not even sure about the paper, but you know what? Those of you that have my workshop kit are safe and sound because I sent you some of this designer series paper, 12 sheets. I just got more in, and some of you, I owed you 6 more little sheets of 6x6, and I sent those to you. So everything is in the mail, including all those bingo kits. Now let me show you this paper. Yay for having so much extra paper now. It's called specialty paper because check out the other side of this paper. Well, that's not that piece. That piece is cute. Mango Melody. But look at the other side of this paper. Some of that paper has a UV coating on it. Oh, it's actually on that side. So I'm going to kind of go like this in the light so you can see how cool this paper is. So just keep in mind you're not all going to get the same. When I cut it up into 6x6, because that is easier for shipping, you don't all get the same critters. But that's okay, because what you can do is the critters, the little bunny and the fox, and like we're going to be stamping this and coloring it ourselves. The bunny, the fox, and the turtle, you can create with the stamp set. So if you have these, you can also cut them out with your dies, which is like extra bonus. So look at that UV coating. Super fun. Love these colors here. You have Balmy Blue, Flirty Flamingo, Mango Melody, Old Olive. Look at these colors. And Daffodil Delight. So here, and I'm going to show you all kinds of things you can make with the kit and with the recent paper pumpkin kit and all kinds of things you can make with this. I'll show you what we made in parts 1 and 2. But now I'm finally glad I got to show you the whole sheet of paper. So before this, though, I was really skimping. I didn't have any paper to work with, and I was doing these projects. And so what happened is I had to dig into my bingo kits. It took me like 15 days. I mean, sorry, Stampin' Up, but the shipping was really slow. It took me 15 days to get my package. And I had to go into these kits and pull out things. So originally, my original box has this rain on it, this little piece of rain. And then my fox it didn't have enough room to breathe. Like I needed some, and it didn't have enough room for the sentiment. I made the box big enough for the fox, but the tail stuck out over the side. And I'm like, oh, like it wasn't big enough for the sentiment. And I was like, well, I forgot about the sentiment. So then I made the box again bigger, experimenting around. But then I didn't have enough of the paper, so I used vellum. And I kind of like it. I kind of like the vellum in the background. We can try different things for our box lids. Just experiment. What is this vellum? This vellum is in your kit. I always give you lots of samples of specialty papers. This is called Vellum Basics Specialty Designer Series paper. We've already used a little piece of this one in one of our cards. So that kind of made it background. And then I was also thinking we could emboss the lid. All kinds of stuff. So let's just go ahead and get started with the stamping part. Oh, my stamp is already on the stamping block. So let me grab my tray and say hello when you get here. I stop and say hello at different points. So first thing you want to do is you want to get your Memento black ink and stamp onto your mat. So and there's no more workshop kits, by the way, for this. But the Irresistible Blooms workshop kits, of which I hoarded many supplies just now. I had a giant BOGO sale. And as much of a penis in the anus as it was still cool to get some rewards. And then I was able to get some supplies for my next workshop. So that was kind of cool. And I was going to wait until the next catalog, but I can't, because when you get Stampin' rewards, that's because people used a host code during my sale. I had to use them right away. The code was going to expire. And I was like, so I was able to get some stuff that's going to be in the next kit. The next kit's going to be pretty cool. Now, my mom can't make anything homemade for this kit but she did help me with the ribbons again. My mom was a very good help. Sometimes she puts homemade things into the kits. Every month they're different, but I always have really cool specialty items in the kits. All right, so you always take a piece of paper and stamp onto it to make sure you get a good stamped image. And now I'm going to stamp onto a piece of basic white, because the basic white is going to hold this ink. It's going to be good for ink absorption for when we color with the Stampin' blends. So the Stampin' blends are alcohol markers, which is why I'm using Memento Black ink. If we were to watercolor, which we're going to be doing next month with the watercolor pencils, well, we're also going to use Memento Black ink, but we're going to also do watercoloring next month. And when we do, let's go ahead and make a couple foxes. When we do watercolor, we're going to use a different kind of ink called StazOn ink to keep the watercolor pencils from running. And we're also going to be using a piece of watercolor paper, which will be in this kit. I ordered some Fluid 100 watercolor paper. And it's okay if you have the older style of watercolor paper. So are the specialty papers in your kits an add-on? No, they're part of the kit. My kits are epic. They're like, I mean, my kits are a really good deal. They're only $49 and I include shipping. It's not like a card club. My kits are like just epic. They have all kinds of stuff in them. I might do a card club in the future, which is much simpler to try to simplify my life a little bit. But I give you so many samples of products because I like to use a lot in my workshops. So I give you so many samples of things, and it's all included. So you get, like, for example, you got this much of this paper. You didn't get a whole lot, but you got samples. That way you can try something, and if you want to get more, you can order the whole pack. And you get, I think, 2 sheets of each in this pack. Let's see if it's 6 or 3. Vellum Specialty, 3. You get 6 sheets if you order the whole pack. I give you the product numbers and everything. So you don't have to invest a lot. You just invest, and PayPal takes a fee, and, I don't even get the whole $49. Then I pay for flat rate shipping. So now I'm down to less than, 30-something, and I give you way more than $40 and something worth. So, I practically give the stuff away. And then when my mom makes something, you're getting, $60 worth of things. It's unbelievable, even more. She makes things that are priceless. Anywho, my kits are epic, and I got those underway now. I have those down pat, like how to make the kits. But I haven't done the card club. That would be a new thing for me. I'd have to kind of do it a little bit differently to make my life a little bit easier. I couldn't possibly include as many things as I do in my workshop kits. But it would be something I do with stamp sets. I'm waiting for the new catalog. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to put this little fox on the die. And I'm going to, just take a sticky note or something. If I had tape with me, I would use tape. Tape that's not, too sticky. I'm just going to use a little sticky note to help keep the die from moving. Now, one little trick is if you have a smaller plate from the mini cut and emboss machine, use a smaller plate. You don't have to crank it as much. It's not as hard to crank, and it goes through quicker. In this case, I'm going through the whole direction, but I could have put this over here and went through quicker. All right, so good. We have one down, and I'm just going to go ahead and do that again. Reuse your tape. I just did it down at the other end. So flip him around. Anyhow, keep asking questions. It makes it easier for me to talk through the workshop. So the other day I was talking about pig's feet. I forgot I was talking about pig's feet, because I talk about the most random things when I'm crafting. And then I had all these comments about people who used to eat pig's feet or currently eat pig's feet. And that was fun. It's fun reading the comments. And sometimes I don't read them till a couple days later. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot I was talking about pig's feet. So yeah, it's fun to talk to you guys. All right, that's all the die cutting we need to do, but we might use the machine again as I emboss a lid. We'll just get to that in a minute. We're going to do some coloring first. I'd like to get this part done because that part, we have the coloring done, and then we can sort of use them for different things. So the sandwich, by the way, whenever you're die cutting the metals, you have plate number 1, and then you have this thin die adapter, plate number 2, and then you need a plate number 3 whenever you're using the metal dies, and then another plate number 3 for the top. In this case, I don't call it wouldn't be called number 2, it would be another plate number 3. This is from another whole machine. I was just using this one today because I was tired of the big plates. But really, the sandwich looks like, you know, another big plate on top. All right. So what happened to it? Here we go. So we're going to use, let's do the raincoat. And now I understand from my last video, you guys were like, oh, I can't get the Mango Melody blends anymore. Well, maybe we're having a big color refresh in the annual catalog. That means some colors are going away. They're going to retire. I can tell you what I hope retires. What colors do I not like that much? Let me think. Mossy Meadow is not a fun green. Garden green can go as far as I'm concerned. Garden green's like the worst green there is. Let's see. Anywho, and there's a few colors that are going to go, and then we're going to get new colors. So maybe when we get new colors, they'll come out with blends, and maybe blends will come back. I didn't realize, like, when I bought these blends that they were going to retire. Why would they retire blends for a color that we currently have? So, like, in other words, Mango Melody, we currently have this color. Like, it's a current color. It just, for some reason, you guys were saying you can't get the blends anymore. Maybe whoever manufactured them isn't doing it anymore. I mean, I don't know what the reason is. If I ran the company, things would be different. No, I'm just kidding. I really don't want to run a company. I mean, I'm running my own business, but that's hard enough as it is. I mean, that's enough stress as it is. I can't imagine a whole company. Although I guess I do have a company. It's just a company of one. So what I'm doing now is I'm just taking the light Mango Melody, and I'm just going in and blending. I use dark around the edges, and now I'm just blending it with circular motions. Just sort of blending. You can either like flick it like this, or you can go in circular motions and get the light color in the middle. So now we're going to use, I like using my little trays. This is the Stampin storage system. We'll go ahead and we'll do the Flirty Flamingo umbrella. Under my umbrella. So always do the dark first around the edges when you're blending. All blends have a light and a dark pairing, except for the skin tone blends. I'm just doing dark right here too. And then the skin tone blends just come in like a set of colors. But all the other ones come in a set of light and dark, all the colors. And then, so we have light and dark, but then we have a thin side, which you can see I'm using the thin side. And then there's a brush side, which I'm going to use for the light Flirty Flamingo. So right now I'm using the dark Flirty Flamingo. Don't color more than 2 objects at once, because your ink will start to dry, and then you won't be able to blend it. And you need the ink to be fairly wet to blend it. I'm going back over that other side in a second. It looked like the Memento Black was starting to run over there. Running away. So this is a little bit dry. And then so what I do is I just have every color, and then I have a few of, I had this whole vision I was going to color like all these hippos for one of my swaps, but I didn't need a second set of blends. So sometimes I have a double set of blends. Like I bought an extra gray granite because of all the hippos I was coloring, but I didn't really need to open it. So I basically just have one set of blends unless I know a big project coming up where I get another set just in case. So that's what I'm doing. I did the light one, blended the light one. Now we're going to do the fox with the dark. This is the dark Cajun Craze. Why Cajun Craze? It's one of the coordinating colors. In this suite. Oh, I forgot to say it when I was using the designer series paper, but I like to stamp the sentiments in Cajun Craze because my stamp pad is just really super juicy. And I can't say the same about my other colors, and I still haven't found all of my re-inkers. All right, something like that. Do a couple little lines. And then you're going to take the light one. Just go in there, circular motion. Okay, that should blend up. We're going to leave that. I'm going to leave the lid off. All right, Anna, hello. Okay, let's see. Pat is here. Anna, hello. Lynn, hello. Mary Rock. Hey, I'm glad you love the bag and the apron my mom made. Also, Mary, yeah, I'll mention that to everybody. So my mom is a seamstress. She's been sewing all her life. I knew the other day, I said, 87 years, but it's like, she's 90 years old, so it's been 83 years. When she was 7 years old, she made herself a pattern. And she laid on the floor, made herself a pattern, and used her mom's nice fabric. Kind of got in trouble, but she'd been watching her mom, and she sewed herself a dress that she wore to school and everything. I'm just doing the dark one. And then ever since then, she just like sewed. And her mom, her mom was also sewing. So like in the days when she grew up, you just made your own clothes. And so I'm just going to use this little bit dark here in the hands, the tip of the feet. So she's always been sewing. And as I was growing up, my house was full of fabric, and she was always sewing. She made a living making wedding parties, costumes. She designed costumes for different like companies, and she did uniforms. So my uniforms, different uniforms. Was that the... Oh, I should have done the dark on the outside, guys. That was the light one. Huh. All right, I did it backwards. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do it backwards. So we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to finish up the light one. And then I'll blend a little bit of dark around the edges. So I was supposed to do the dark. You always do the dark first. But if you forget, it's okay. You just do the whole thing in light and then go back with your dark. I was like thinking this doesn't look very dark. So anyhow, and when I do my kits, my mom sometimes makes something homemade for your kits. She can barely see anymore. She can barely hear. She still sews though. She sews really well still, and she makes lots of like vintage aprons and things. So sometimes she makes little bags for my kits. Not this month, the Irresistible blooms, because I have a lot of other stuff going in there, but she sometimes makes... I'm just doing dark now to kind of highlight. I'm going to keep the face a little bit light, but I'm just going now to do the dark. Now, normally I would have done dark first. Okay, I probably should use the small side because of this. So I'm going to go ahead and make the hands darker. All right, now I think I need to take my color lifter for that foot part. So color lifter is like how to erase your coloring blends. So when I sell the kits, I always say you can add on a mystery apron for only $25. And that is what, like I sent out one today. It had eyelid on it. It was blue, and it had like flowers and baskets. Now, if you want to do mystery apron, or if you want to pick an apron, then they're $30. But mystery aprons are like, I pick the apron for you. It saves me a lot of time because I don't have to photograph the aprons and put them on Etsy and all that stuff. We've sold a lot of aprons through Etsy, but I've been selling way more just by doing mystery aprons for my customers, because then I can just pick out one and put it in there. But if you like something specific, like, flamingos, ladybugs, certain patterns, then I'm just using dark for the ears. Then, of course, we can accommodate you, and you can just get a regular apron. Or I can make a video for you and show you what she has. I think I'm going to do a little bit dark on the eyes like that. Yeah. Okay, I think that's good. Now, what I did before is I took the crumb cake, and I kind of used it as a color lifter. So, like, this is a color lifter, meaning you can lighten colors. But what you can also do is you can use another color that's lighter. I like to stir these like that. And the color will be acting as a color lifter. So what I did is, this is what I did earlier. Let me find my little fox to see. See how the front of see how that was lighter and this was lighter, and that's lighter because of the way I blended it. But what I did is I took this is light crumb cake, and I went over the face a little bit in the light crumb cake, and it sort of, and back here a little bit, and it sort of just made the color lift up a little and blended the colors a little. So it made the face a little bit lighter. I kind of got the idea from the paper, just blending from the paper itself, because in the paper the face was really light, but I didn't want it to be as light as on the paper, the designer series paper. I'm going to try that. And then I made the tail. I took the dark, this one, the dark crumb cake, and made the tail darker. I could have left the tail white and everything, but depends on what kind of fox you have. I just thought, so to be inspired, but like as to how to color, you just kind of look at your designer series paper and you can see how to color. All right, so anyway, I was going backwards with the names, and I was going, let me get back to the front and see who came in. So hello, we said hi to Lynn and Yvonne and Gloria and Denise and Maid from Maryland and Mary from Wyoming, Melissa from Texas, Brooke, hello, from Florida. Okay, Mary's talking about she gets your kit. So hello, Louise. And Anna said she's having lunch and watching. Yes, my mom is super active. Hello, Linda from StampCut and Create. Hello, Diane. I'm very lucky. She's very active. She can still do a split. She's way more in better shape than me. Like, but her flexibility and weight and everything, she's just way better shape than me. All right, so that's good. Now, it's kind of a little funky monkey, meaning it just needs to be blended a little bit. It's kind of, the colors kind of blend together. But what I like to do is, they blend together better over time. But I like to do is, while it's still kind of wet, and this helps it blend a little better too, is just take my Wink of Stella and get it all over there, and it helps blend the colors a little bit better. I can see already. So this is a glitter pen. Shake, shake, shake. And it also makes everything look glossy because it is a rainy day. So I'm glad I have two of these because then I can make a couple different lids at the same time. That one really didn't lift the color that much. That one, though. Yeah, sometimes like after you stamp a memento, then sometimes you have to squeeze the glitter out of here once in a while. And then you can put other re-inkers in here to try to get to stretch out your Wink of Stella. When it gets toward the end like this, then you can add some re-inker and a little bit of alcohol. And that's what I did before, and it kind of makes my glitter stretch. Like right now it's look like it's, I have like 20 of these. Anywho, I use my color labels, and I put a color on it. Like this one is, I think this one was Bumblebee, right? So I put a little color label on it to know what color I dyed it. Is this my white one? Hold on. Better not be. Okay, see? That one is too much just coming out. We'll just dip in there and get some glitter. Sometimes you have to be careful how much comes out, and you just instead make yourself a little bit of, just put some down. Ooh, I like it because it's going to make my other colors blend a little better too. Oh, how fun. I got a shiny fox. I'm just going to go back over this one too, since I have so much glitter on the page already. Nothing wrong with glitter, but definitely don't try to use loose glitter. Get a glitter brush like this. We sell the Wink of Stella. If you want to have like everything, definitely join my team and get a discount, 20%. Then you start out 20% discount. Then you get 30, or not 30, it never goes up to 30, 25% discount. It goes later. Speaking of my team, there's Sue. Hello, Sue. She says she loves Wink of Stella too. You can see I put it on everything. Hello, Janet. Hello, Lizzie from Ontario, Canada. All right, we are colored. We are good. All that is done. Now we can work on our we need our simply scored. Our trimmer. We can work on the other part of this project now. All right. Let's see. We need a trimmer. And then maybe like that. Now you could use your trimmer to score at the same time. There is a little tool like this. See, it's gray and it does the scoring. I don't like that. I like to use my trimmer to cut. I have the dull blade down here and for cutting like plastic and Mylar, whatever. And then I have the one for like cutting my cardstock, the sharper blade on top. So I personally don't like to use it for scoring. I use this simply scored for scoring. All right, my new box. Let's see what I did. Bottom, top. All right, we're going to do the top first. We're going to do the top first because the measurements are easier. And let's do one like this. Okay, let's think. If this is going to be, if I want the rain to come down, okay, 5, it's going to be 5 by 3 3/4. So I'm thinking I'm going to need the 3 3/4 side to be like this since I want the rain to come down. So 3 3/4. Okay. Let's get rid of this slice here. By 5. So to make sure that's right. 3 3/4 by 5. This is the top of the box. I'm doing it in this cute paper this time. 1 by 5. Cardstock is better for box lids, but I just thought this is cute too for the rain, okay? And then we'll also do one in balmy blue, and then we can emboss it too. That's what I was thinking after I had already done this lid. Remember, and then I can also show you how to use the vellum part. So let's see. All right, I really have hardly any cardstock left, so I have to take some from my bingo kit here. You all have a piece of balmy blue. You actually have a whole sheet of balmy blue in your kit, and you can make a card out of one side, and then the other side you can make 2 box lids. So let's go ahead and cut it 5 by 3 3/4. What I'm going to do with, so tomorrow, if you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, March 16th, or actually in the middle of the night tonight, but probably tomorrow is when I'm going to check on it. You get what's called celebration rewards. So you get rewards if you, for different things during celebration, like sales and team building and things. So I'm using my rewards. I'm not even waiting for the next catalog. I'm just getting cardstock because I hardly have any cardstock anymore. My friend had to let me borrow some just to get through this kit making process. All right, so what did I say? 5 by 3 3/4. All right, what I thought it would be fun to do after I score it and cut out the little notches is to emboss this. That would be fun with the embossing folder. All right. Oh, let's go ahead and do the bottom of the box while we're here, though. So the bottom of the box is going to be, oh, sorry, wrong box. This box, well, same box. We're going to use Old Olive. Okay, let's take a card. Let's take another card out of my bingo kit. All right, let's see. This one's going to be this. Now we're doing the bottom of the box. So we're doing, so go to the 5.5 mark, right? Well, and then this is before you actually, but don't do anything yet. I just want to explain something. Oops, I hope I'm not getting ink on that other side of the, okay, good. I didn't get ink on it. All right. When you want to do a 1/16 of an inch, we need this to be it's instead of 5.5, we need it to be a 1/16 of an inch smaller than 5.5, right? For this box. So we need to go, these are 1/16 of an inch. These little marks down here. This is millimeters up there. But down here are 1/16 of an inch. Okay? So go to the 5.5 mark and then move it back one more. I'll write this down for you. So it's 7/16 of an inch. That is a smidgen. So we want it to be 7/16 of an inch. I'm going to go ahead and do this side too. I'm going to go make box bottom. So 5.5, and then I'm moving it back 1/16 of an inch. So we have 5 and 7/16 of an inch. Okay, so it's like a little smidgen smaller than 5.5. The smidgen smaller makes the lid be a little bit bigger than the bottom, and it makes the lid fit over the bottom. So that's why you have to do that. And then the instead of 4 1/4, we have to go back a smidgen, and we have 4 3/16. Don't worry, I'm writing it all down. That's a smidgen. Well, that's actually more than a smidgen, but a smidgen is just a tiny little bit. So 4 1/4, and then I'm moving it back 1. It makes the lid, it makes the bottom of the lid fit over the top of the bottom. That little bit of extra thing is where that smidgen comes into effect. Okay, so, but our lid is also not going to be the same size as the bottom. So here's our pieces. All right, let's go ahead and write that down for you. Make a couple different ones, make a couple different lids and a couple different bottoms. All right, here's the pen. So we have, let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so this is going to be, this is going to be the bottom of the box. 5 7/16 of an inch, right? By 4 3/16 of an inch. Okay? And then I'm going to, this is the top of the box. 5 inches, this was the easy one, 5 inches by 3 3/4. And the reason this was easier is because we didn't have to worry about that extra 16th of an inch or anything like that. All right, hello, Kathy from Backyard Stamper. The dancing bunny. Where's our dancing bunny? Oh, yeah, the bunny. The bunny we could put on a wobble spring and really make them dance. But Dancing in the Rain, I love that one. Okay, what kind of labels do I use? Labels. Are you talking about these kind of labels? What do you mean, what kind of labels, Lynn? Do you mean my brother label maker? Did you see my She Shed tour? I have a couple brother label makers. If you're talking about those kind of labels. Or if you mean this kind of label. Do you mean for the die? Kathy, you're here. Could you tell her? I forget already. I have all my dies. Look how I keep my dies right now. I kid you not. This is my bucket of dies. Now I don't remember where any of them came from. I mean, I remember where some of them came from, but I'm using so many dies right now. You mean that thing? Anyway, clarify your question, and someone else will answer from our crafty friends here. They'll answer you. All right, so that was the measurements. Now we're going to go ahead and labels for Wink Costello. Oh, I sell the labels. Okay, go to my Etsy store or go to my website. Not my website. It's, okay, I make these. I sell these. I created every label here. I created every color label for every color, and they're all labeled. And I give you all the retired ones for free. So you get like there's probably 100 labels or maybe 80 labels. I don't know. And I'll give you all the new colors if you get them like in next year. But I'm saying I already give everybody all the color labels. I just haven't done it in different languages yet by request. So I sell them on Etsy. It's a digital download for only $5. You get all the color labels for Stampin' Up. Just go to Papered Chef on Etsy and just don't type in Pampered Chef because it's going to say, did you mean pampered? No, you didn't mean pampered, for crying out loud. You mean papered. We're paper crafters here. But it always tries to correct you and try to send you to, it tries to put an M in there. Anyway, what I'm doing right now is I'm scoring the bottom, 1 inch on all sides. I stopped linking my Etsy store to my videos because I don't keep my mom's aprons there anymore. And really, I just have like a digital download. I don't really have much in my Etsy store. But I can't keep up with it all. Maybe I can now that I have a more organized She Shed. I can keep up with more things. But between the classes I develop and the tutorials I do, and it's a lot easier to sell mystery aprons, honestly, than take pictures of 10 different angles of the same item. All right, so I scored 1 inch around the bottom parts, and now I'm scoring a 3/4 of an inch around these parts. So here's 1/4, 1/2 inch, 3/4. See this? This isn't, I'm doing 3/4 of an inch for the lid on all sides. I'll write that down in the other paper as well. Don't try to score 2 pieces of paper at once. It just won't work. But I am using the smaller side to score with. Yeah, so I have this group, though. If you're interested in aprons, I have a group called Anne's Aprons. It's a Facebook group. And, like, I sell more aprons just by showing people the aprons and a picture of something she made and my mystery aprons than I ever did on Etsy. Like, in a few years on Etsy, you know, we have a lot of sales, but, oops, that one got kind of messed up, but I'm going to be embossing it anyway. And, you know, we had a lot of sales on Etsy when we were doing it, but it's like, it's a lot more effort for the lot less, for the amount of work. And then they take all these fees. And now my friend was just writing, she's a full-time Etsy person. That's what she does as her living. And she was saying, like, after the bank collapsed that they didn't pay her right away and she put her store on vacation mode. I don't know if they got it all straightened out. I'm not worried about it, though. They'll pay me eventually because Etsy's pretty good. They've been really good as far as management of logistics and stuff. It's easy to, you know, to keep my store managed, but it's just not, it's like hard to take, you get like take 10 pictures of something and write this long description and all that stuff when it's so much easier to just tell my friends, hey, my mom made a St. Patrick's Day apron. Does anyone want one? And next thing you know, I'm selling 3 of them like within 5 minutes, just of me posting a picture in my group. And instead of like spending an hour trying to make a post on Etsy, but I digress. All right, so this part, so what I've done is I've done the 3/4 inches. Now you probably want me to write that down. I can take this away now. And so you're going to score. The bottom part is score at 1 inch everywhere on all sides, and the bottom, and then this part is score at 3/4 of an inch on all sides. So now we're going to do the little mitering the edges. And let's just check this out before you get too far. So we're going to go like this. We're going to go like this. And I'm just making sure I did. That was the valley, and that's the mountain. I just want to show you. So, like, before you get too far, you make sure, okay, I had done experiments and everything, so you don't have to. But then we still want to double check before we cut all the little mitering the edges and all that. We want to make sure that this fits, that the lid is going to fit, that it's the right size. And it is. Oh, yay. Oh, we're happy. Meaning it's going to fit over the bottom. Okay, now we're just going to we're going to go like this. And we're going to miter all the edges. So we're going to take these little flaps and cut little tiny triangles of them. That's what mitering the edges means. So that when you put this box together, right, like this, it's not sticking out over the side, like up over the side. Okay, so so Valerie Black is here. She said she remembers a while ago there was a problem with the Mango Melody blends. Okay, you had one that was replaced. Interesting. I didn't know about there was a problem with them. I kind of sort of like remember only after someone said it, but then I was like, after someone said it the other day, because I was like, why didn't they? Because I know they don't make a lot of yellow blends. Like, they don't make any blends for crushed curry color, and you're like, that's a color I use constantly, and it's like, why don't they make blends for all the colors? But I see there was a problem, Valerie's saying, because, maybe a manufacturing problem. So she said after that, they would discontinue. So that's what mitering the edges is. So you go like, here, show you what that looks like. So put this on top of there so you could see. That's not really good contrast. Here, I'll put it on top of here so you can see. So do that to all your edges. See, you're going to cut the little triangles out. See, I like to turn my paper and go, okay, the letter H, right? And then I cut the triangles out of all the flaps. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that to all the, oops, it's easier to do this side. Snip, snip, snip. And of course, those of you that took my boxes and envelopes course, I teach a course on Udemy called Brother ScanNCut Boxes and Envelopes, and I teach you how to make all these from your ScanNCut. But I still love making boxes manually. It's so therapeutic. I like playing with the glue. I like playing with my little clothespins. I like making boxes fit. I like experimenting with sizes. Then after I mass produce though. So when I get all done though, I mass produce using my ScanNCut. Because once I design a box, then I can go in and design it on the inside of Canvas Workspace, and then I can just go to town mass producing and it'll make the score lines for me. But my initial boxes I like experimenting with. And I also like to design online. Like I use the template maker site. They make boxes and lids for me really easily. I teach you how to do that in great detail in all my courses. So if you're like, there's no way I'm going to make the treat box, then just go ahead and use your ScanNCut. I mean, that's okay too. But these aren't hard to make. Okay, so let's not use any glue on this one yet because we're going to emboss it. Let's do the glue on these. So you're going to take you got rid of all the little edges. You're going to take some liquid glue. All right, I remember the other day, there wasn't much glue in this one, so we're going to do that. And I whipped out the clothespins for this special occasion here. Making boxes, you need little clothespins. So what you're going to do is you're going to put glue on all your flaps, right? Glue is more forgiving. Usually I do the bottom first, and then I make sure that the lid will fit over the bottom. So I probably could have done the bottom first, but that's okay. Don't make it as tight as you make the bottom, though. Don't make your lid as tight because it does have to fit over the bottom. And then you're going to go like this after you get it pinched a little or where you want it. Okay, hold it there for a second and then use your clothespin to help you while it's drying. So that's a little box making trick for you, or box making tip. And for the bottom one, we'll just use it rolling adhesive. I just wanted to use some glue. Some liquid glue. Where's my other? Do I have another clothespin? So you can move a clothespin from another place over here. All right, so that's good. And I'm already getting glue on the bottom of that one. I have an adhesive eraser, but it's not in the near vicinity. You can see I'm a very messy crafter, but it's all good. It's all good. We're having fun. I think I'll give these to my nieces and nephews who are going to be here for Easter. Oh, no, you know what? I already have Easter little crafts for them. These I'll give to someone else because my Easter crafts are going in their Easter baskets. Some of my Easter crafts. My mom made homemade Easter baskets with bunny fabric. Some of you got them in the kit a couple months ago. She gave everybody an Easter basket in the Easter Bunny Workshop series. That was such a fun series. All right, so that one's like that. So I'm just kind of holding. Here, I'm going to move this one over there. Don't you love how that flirty flamingo came out? Super cute. So the reason I do the bottom first, usually I glue the bottom first and then I do the top, is because then I can make sure the top fits over the bottom. But I did it in reverse order. I try not to cut two of them at once because when I've done that, I've made mistakes and slipped a little. So before you do the mitering of the edges, you should always do your folding first. And make sure you can still see the measurements. If you just got here late, there's the measurements. Well, you're never really late because it's not like I know when I'm coming on. When I get done my projects and I'm ready to go, and I'm not driving to the post office, which just seems like that's all I'm doing lately, then I'm crafting and I'm doing a tutorial. It's usually at night. I'm usually live at night, but I don't say what time I'm going live because that would really impact my creativity. It's whenever I'm ready, I go live. That's how I roll. I get done the project, I go live and share it as soon as I possibly can. If I said I was going to go live on a certain time, I wouldn't be as creative because I'd be like trying to create something just to show you live versus creating something when I get inspired. All right, so this one, instead of using liquid glue, just to be quicker, we're going to just use the snail. Not snail. It used to be called snail. Seal. Seal Plus adhesive. Okay, so I'm looking for that. Should be over here. One thing I like about having a she shed is I know where everything is now. This is like the first time in years I've known where everything is. I still lose things, as you know, right on the video as you're watching me. I lose things. But I know where everything is. Like I have 2 of these close by. I have a bunch of scissors close by. 3 glue close by. So it just makes it so much easier to make things and so much more efficient. So if you don't already have a little craft space with little baskets of all your other things you use a lot close by, do yourself a favor and get yourself a craft space where you can keep things instead of, like if you're using the kitchen table like I was for a while, dining room table. Okay, let's see how this works. Okay, let's see. Let's make sure my lid fits. And if it does, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to sing. Oh, because we love when things fit. And we sing whenever things work on my channel here. Okay. So you can just make a ton of these while you're watching TV and stuff. And like I said, you'll fit Skittles in here. I mean, all kinds of stuff will fit in here. But I'm thinking I have some Easter Skittles. All right. Now let's make a different kind of lid. We're going to still try this lid. Okay. Oh! All right, let's put the fox on there. Yay. Actually, the rain goes like this because you see how the rain, you want the big part of the rain to go down. All right, and we have another fox already colored somewhere. Where'd he go? And you can put the fox on a wobble spring. If you know what the wobble springs are, we use those a lot on this channel. They would be really cute on there. Hey, the daisies are back in stock. Yay, thank you. And the dies, thank you so much, Valerie. All right, you guys, you hear that? Use my link, please. Here's my link. The dies are back in stock. That means you can save 10% when you purchase the bundle. I know a lot of you have been waiting. So Pat says she loves her bunny bag. It sits on her desk and makes her smile. The bunny bag my mom made. Okay, good. Lala's Crafts. Phyllis said she ordered more of the paper. So cool. All right, they dried up soon after you opened them. What dried up? Okay, let me see. Maybe, oh, the mango melody. How am I listed on Etsy, Diane? I'm just a papered chef. Right here, like this. Just type in this word. Type in that. I'm the only papered chef on Etsy. It's going to try to rechange it. It's going to try to use an M, and it's going to try to send you somewhere else. But just say, no, I'm spelling it right. All right, so we got to do we're not going to do the die cut. We already have a bucket of crafty goodness. We are going to stamp, though. And we're gonna do the embossing. So let's see if I could do what we could do first. Bucket of crafty goodness. All right, so I'm just grabbing out a couple of these labels from Kathy was telling us, or did you tell us, Kathy, way back here? All right, Mom's aprons are awesome, she said. Yes, my mom does hang out with me in the she shed, Kathy. She does. And hello, Sue says Mom's aprons are awesome. Something Fancy. Oh, she did answer. Okay. These are from Something Fancy Dies. And I'm just using them because they fit. You know, that's the only reason. There's no other reason. The sentiments fit. There's only 2 sentiments in this whole stamp set. I'm opening the Mango Melody ink. I'm going to get the little stamping block I had out here. There was a little stamping block somewhere. Here we go. And I'm just going to put a little bit of ink on it. This controls how much ink goes on my blending brush. See how much ink is on there? It's a lot. And this is a real dark one. Okay, now I'm just going to go like this around the edges and color in the edges. Do this before you stamp your sentiment. I highly recommend it because once you stamp your sentiment, if you try to put a little ink around your edges, they end up, you know, your ink could smear. Your sentiment could smear. So we're just going to do this a few times with the Mango Melody. This is just something I like to do to the edges of my stamps. Okay, that one needs a little bit further in because I smeared that side, so I'm just going to smear that side. Oh, I like that. I like that way better. I think I'm going to do the next one like that. I like it better kind of in more. Oh, yeah. They'll each be a little different because every time you craft, something comes out different. Why am I doing 3? In case we mess up, because we need 2. Right, you have 2 boxes, right? So we need 2, so I'm doing 3 in case we mess up. But why should we think we're going to mess up? Because there's really no such thing as messing up in crafting. You just do it again. It's only paper. All right, we're going to open up. Whoops. There we go. Got ink on me. Cajun Craze is a good one to use for this sentiment because it's just really juicy. My ink pad's really juicy, and it's one of the coordinating colors, and it shows up really dark, and I really like it. Now, keep in mind the stamp set only has 2 sentiments, so you're going to see me using them over and over. We have Oh Happy Day, we used for the bunny dancing in the rain, and we have Rainy Days Are Better With You. When you see my projects later at the end of this video, you're going to see a lot more sentiments, but those are from the Paper Pumpkin Kit. The reason I'm always using these 2 is because the workshop series is called Playing in the Rain Workshop Series. So I'm using these 2. Those are the 2 sentiments. Because that's, oh, I love when it comes out. And I'm going to go, if you don't want to center this as much as you would normally center it, like try to get it toward the top if you can, or at least not toward the bottom because the little fox, the umbrella has to overlap this a bit. Okay, cute. I like this one better. I'm going to use these 2 because I like how dark. I like it. I like the blend, the way that's blended. And then out of these 2, yeah, I like this one. So, yeah, we're going to go with those 2. Those are the 2 I'm keeping. Those are keepers. Well, the other one's a keeper, too. It goes into my bucket of crafty goodness. So now let's emboss the lid just to see how that will look. So you were asking me about embossing folders, and I wanted to stick to the other day. I did a tutorial. If you missed it, I don't have much left here, but I did a whole tutorial. I showed you about 20 cards created using the new 3D Basics embossing folders. So if you missed that tutorial, I showed you how to emboss and how to heat emboss and how to put textures on your cards and all kinds of stuff using embossing powders. Okay, so if you missed that tutorial, check that out. That was a 3D embossing folder. This one, however, is a regular embossing folder. This one is the one that's part of the suite. It's called Raindrops Embossing Folder. So I just thought it'd be fun to try to emboss the lid. Okay, now let's see. We're gonna put it in there like this because the box is vertical, right? So we just need the drops to be vertical as opposed to horizontal. I mean, the drops are coming down where the little fox is gonna be on the box. The fox on the box. Sounds like a Dr. Seuss book. Okay, now we're gonna take the embossing folder sandwich the regular embossing folder sandwich is going to be, you use the base plate. This is the base plate. You put one of these plates. Okay, one of these. You put one of these. You put the embossing folder, and then you put another one of these. Now this is your sandwich. So that's your sandwich. One of these, one of these, and one of these. You don't need that thin die adapter. I'm going to roll that through. Let me turn this around so you can, I don't have to get, okay. I pull my machine closer. I had to turn it around so the handle's on this side. Yeah, Mary, I do craft videos of my mom sewing sometimes, but I don't do regular craft videos with my mom because she helps me do things for my kits and all, but she's a seamstress. She's not a paper crafter, and she can't really hear that well, so she would like not be able to like collaborate as much, but she does sometimes paper craft, but she really paper crafts to help me with my kits and things. I was just looking for a baby wipe. So when I do a reel of her sewing, when I say reel, that's my little 60 to 90 second videos, right? When I do those of her sewing, oh my goodness, you should see how many people watch them compared to my craft videos. They love watching. I get so many comments about her old style, like vintage sewing machine that she uses. And like people are like, what model of sewing machine is that? Oh my gosh, your mom's so cool. Look what she made. So people love watching her sew. And I do make videos of her sewing, but that's her craft. We all have our passions. Like my passion is paper crafting and her passion is sewing. So I do videos with showing her, but it's always her. It's her sewing when I show her. Not she doesn't get into my paper crafting videos. But I've had my nieces, a couple different nieces, and my nephews come on to my paper crafting videos, and different friends and different team members. Okay, anyway, let's see how our box lid turned out. Oh yeah, that's cute, right? And you could also do some balmy blue and ink it up and all that. I'm just going to let's just see if I can use the Seal Plus here, just to be quick. But you can go ahead and get in there with your balmy blue. It's blending brush. But I asked her, the other day, because she was talking about how she still doesn't swim. And I was like, I can teach you to swim. And she's like, maybe this summer. So she's still learning things, she's still learning things. But she told me about how she saved a kid's life from drowning, even though she couldn't swim. It was a little kid when she was traveling where she jumped in and saved someone's life. Like she was just in standing room water when she was little, but we were having this conversation. And she was like into learning. So maybe she can learn to paper craft. Hey, no, you're never too late. I like that. Let's see how that looks on our box. Let's take one of our other lids off and put the balmy blue emboss lid on. Oh, yeah. Super cute. So we'll use it. Now for this one, all you do is you're going to cut a little piece of vellum. We don't need to do that, but I'm just saying you're going to put, let's say you have vellum, because I already have so many box lids now. I don't want vellum over the top of that one, but say you're going to use the vellum. The only trick for vellum is cut it the size you need it, right? And what was that? Let's see. Just figure out whatever the lid was. I just covered the whole lid with it, so it was, I already forgot already. So what, it was 2 1/4 by 3 1/2, I think. Anyway, I think it's 3 1/4 by 3 1/2. But anyway, you're just going to cut a piece of vellum and put that over your lid, and then you're going to hide the adhesive. So for the vellum, you stick your adhesive behind there so that the fox, see, I hid it. It's a floating piece of vellum. I only adhered it right behind the fox. So that's the only trick for the vellum. But we have enough going on with our boxes. We don't need, I'm just putting regular adhesive on here. Rainy days. See how this fits perfectly? This is why, like, when I experimented with this size box, it was much better. Okay, because of the drops, it's harder for this to stick. So you maybe put a little extra adhesive on there and get under there with your hand to get under there. Right, this fits right across. So get under there and push down because of the drops to make better contact. Okay, good. And then we'll do that to this one. We're on the final stretch. We're just putting dimensionals on the little critters. Let's make sure the drops are the right way. Oops. I just got done saying let's make sure the drops are the right way, and I did it upside down. I hope it comes off without messing up. Come on. Come on. I'm going to do it slow so it doesn't mess up. If you catch it quick, this stuff dries like concrete. If you don't catch it quick, it won't dry, you know. Okay, I think I got it all off. Good, good, good. So make sure you want your drops to be, like, the fat part of the drop is down. I mean, these are just little details. Like, it doesn't really matter, but I just thought I want to fix them if I can. If it would have already dried on there, I wouldn't have fixed it. But I like to pay attention to little details. Okay, see how the drops are fatter on the bottom? So we're going to do the same thing on this side. Raindrops keep falling on my head. And then you can either use a wobble spring, but we're just going to use dimensionals. Maybe I'll make one. I have to find my, I found my wobble springs recently. I have to find them again. And this is like a, because it's a regular, there's two kinds of basic white. There's basic white and then there's thick basic white. This is the regular basic white, and the blends bleed through, which is why I didn't use my smaller box, because it would have been hanging over the edge and you might have seen a little bit of the bleed through. You got to move it. This little feet are going to have to hang off the edge. I didn't make, yeah, his little feet are going to hang off the edge on that one. This one I put the sentiment up a little bit higher and his foot won't hang off the edge. But it's a perfect size box for the little fox to fit on it. The box for the fox. We made a box for the fox. And I'm using 4 dimensionals. I like using a lot of dimensionals. So push under there like that. All right, so we have our coordinating colors going, and where's the, oh, because this is an extra lid. Where's my, I do have a bottom somewhere. Oh, here we go. It's this one. It's like, wait a second. So you could use in your inside, you could do something, put another critter inside and tie in the old olive that way. Let me show you an example. Or just look at a little umbrella. If you missed my scan and cut tutorial earlier, we made lots of crafty goodness. So if you want to tie in the old olive, this would be a good way to tie in the old olive. Just go like that and glue that little guy inside the box, or inside the lid. Like, let people find little surprises. Like, that would be cute inside the lid. Or so with this little umbrella. And it would tie in this, would tie in the old olive color. But it is a coordinating color. So it looks right anyway. Oh, and I taught you how to cut out the bunny with the puddle, because our bunny die does not cut out the puddle. So with the ScanNCut, you can cut out the puddle too. So this little bucket of crafty goodness is from my ScanNCut. And then these are extras I just had. So you could put like one of these in there. I mean, these are just ideas. You could put that inside there. Oh, happy day. I'm going to go ahead and do that inside. Oops, wrong one. I'm going to stick him inside there. All right. Oops, wrong one. Here we go. So that is how to make your box. And you can put crafts in it. You can put candy, money, gift card. Just put fun stuff in your boxes. So this is what we made. And there's 3 different style. Oops, all 3 different styles. We have, you can use balmy blue lid with piece of vellum. You can use just a piece of designer series paper, or you can use balmy blue and emboss it. So they all came out just a little bit differently, depending on what you do. So now I'm going to show you the projects we created in part 1 and 2. All right, let's see. Let's see what she would look. Okay, let me see. Yeah, we should all send her a card. Okay, her birthday. So Mom's birthday is coming up in less than a couple weeks. So, but you have to, I'm not going to put my address on YouTube or anything. But those, I'll put it in my groups, my VIP group. I'll put it in my team group and my VIP group. How about that? And in Anne's Aprons, because she doesn't see any of that. Well, maybe not Anne's Aprons. That's kind of a public group. I will put my mom's address because she's going to turn 91 in a couple weeks. And that would be great if we could send her cards. Thank you. That's a great idea. That's a great idea, Kathy. Thank you. Great idea. So, I mean, it's not every day you turn 91, right? So, are you asking what my label is? This label, Diana, it's called Fancy Label. How wide is the embossing folder? Okay, question. How wide is the embossing folder? I keep getting asked this every time. It is kind of wide, right? Yes, it's 6 inches, right? 6 inches wide. I mean, yeah, the embossing folder. Not all embossing folders, just this one. Thank you, Denise. I'm glad you like the boxes. Thank you, Chaz. All right, let's show you what I made. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up with, we're going to use this little tray and show you the other projects. All right, here's my bucket of crafty goodness I'm going to show you. Starting with what we made in part 1 of this series. Let's just make sure nothing on my hands. Wiping it on my shirt. In part 1, we made this card. And to make this card, you're going to use the bunny die that comes in this Playing in the Rain bundle, a piece of textured paper that's in your kit. That's balmy blue, by the way. Textured shimmer paper, something like that. And a piece of Flirty Flamingo from the Designer Series paper, the rain paper that we just used for the top of the box. The umbrella we die cut out. We die cut out all these little pieces. We put some bling on there, a piece of Flirty Flamingo, and the card was Flirty Flamingo. Okay, that was part 1. Part 2, so now we've used all 3 critters, guys, right? Notice in the critters, we've used all 3 critters. We used the bunny, the turtle, and then the fox. For number 2, we didn't do rain. We did rain, and then we did shine, and now we're back to rain. So next time I'll go back to shine, and we'll do something different probably, or a combination of both. For this one, we used that texture shimmer paper again. For the grass, we used the tree stump that we colored in crumb cake. We used the balmy blue background, a basic black background. I taught you how to use adhesive sheets to make the little bridge. We popped up some clouds with dimensionals. We colored the dimensionals, or we colored the clouds with balmy blue. And we did Oh Happy Day, again, Cajun craze everywhere. And then I did the ScanNCut tutorial and combinations of that. Went to ScanNCut. We were able to cut out the puddle with the bunny. And this is part of the kit called the Sunshine and Rainbows Paper Pumpkin Kit. And here's how you can take the Designer Series paper and combine it with different parts of the kit. Like these little elements are from the Paper Pumpkin Kit. And now, after I show you this card, everything else is from the Paper Pumpkin Kit. This card is a teammate. I'll just leave it in the bag. I love how she used vellum over the top of the circle from the Layering Circles dies. I like how she colored Mr. Bunny. And her name is Patsy Jones. And she's from my Beehive team, and we had a swap. And she did this card. So I'm just giving you all kinds of ideas for inspiration. And now I'm going to show you what you can make with the Paper Pumpkin Kit, Sunshine and Rainbows. But of course, if you order Paper Pumpkin from me, you're not going to get this kit because this kit's already gone. But if you have the kit, you're going to get to see lots of alternative projects you can create with the kit, including a shaker card. And these remind me, these little backgrounds remind me of the layering diorama dies. That's what they look like to me. Super fun. Adhesive on the bridge from part 2, yeah. Adhesive sheets, Diana. So he's standing on the stump. Yeah, he's so cute. The turtle's so cute standing on the stump. You could have cut out the stump in crumb cake, or you can just use an adhesive sheet, make yourself little stickers. So these are all alternative projects. I need to go post all these online so you could see these pictures of these. I did finally take pictures of these just a couple days ago, or maybe yesterday. My friend Linda, she's here on this channel. She's here right now. She visited me at my she shed yesterday, Stamp, Cut, and Create. It was really fun for her to visit. And as she was visiting, I was like actually photographing my crafts on my table when she and her husband pulled up. Okay, these are all from the Paper Pumpkin Kit and alternative projects. And that's where I'm able to have all these extra sentiments, because the February kit had all these extra sentiments that go so well with this. It coordinates. So don't miss out on Paper Pumpkin, because you never know what kind of gems you're going to find. And lastly, super cute, you can take the Designer Series paper and an element from your kit. The little froggy's from the kit, but he's from the paper. And you can just sort of combine the Paper Pumpkin with your other products and really get a lot out of it. That's if you're in the US, or Canada. Not every place has Paper Pumpkin. So those are what the projects look like. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and we'll give these little boxes a try so that you can put some treats in them for the spring and have lots of fun. All right, that's all for now. This is the Paper Chef. Have a great day. If you'd like to sign up for my next month's next month's workshop kit, go to the description, click here, hit like. Then when you're there, click the little arrow, open up the video, open up the description. I don't put it on my Stampin' Up store. I just put it in the description of the video, because the kits, to sign up for the kits, you need to just go to, there's a special link, and it's just while supplies last. I'm only doing enough for a pack of, I'm going to do 24. That's all I'm doing, because for this next kit, because they stopped selling the paper. The paper ran out for the Irresistible, this one. I got enough for the kits, but I'm saying the paper ran out. It not ran out for good, but I might do more than that. But I'm just saying, for now, I'm going to limit it to 24 people. Okay? So thank you, Carol, Melissa, Tina, Denise, Chaz. Good. She has my beginner course. Thank you for taking my course, Chaz. That's awesome. Thank you all for watching. This is the Paper Chef. Have a great night.